Everybody, it's Patrick from Pitch Tech. We're going to be here with another matchup. And it's going to be the Dromai matchup here. Let's go and get our sideboard. And a lot of the times, a lot of people who probably don't understand Iyslander, and they'll think, okay, why do you have two poppers taken out, right? Well, when it comes to the odds and ratios of you drawing two poppers in the same hand, which is usually not what you want, because you can finish a turn by popping a dragon and then send one back out at opponent, right? They have enough armor to potentially destroy that, or basically make it not as impactful as you want it to be. With that, I like to have a 2% chance rather than a 4% chance, because if you add all 6 poppers to stop a turn, to help stop their turn, because that's the name of the game when it comes to Iyslander, you have to pretty much race your opponent. I take away one in case, because I do have 2 of them in there because it helps out with the Dromai. Oh, I can't really do anything. My turn is stopped. I'm tossing some arcane at you. The waning moon or whatever. They'll pitch to their chess piece, and this helps out just a little bit. And they'll get the free resources that comes with it. So Ice Eternal is a little slow for what it needs to be. It can stop their turn, but all in all, it's not as aggressive as you want. This is for slower matchups, and again, defense is not what you want. You want to race through your opponent. Not to say that, a turn 1 or a turn 2 of the Dromai Tumulti won't work, but it can work at sometimes. So that always comes with the territory, and there's a very small thing that I'm not so sure if Alshar is programmed, because it's been a hot minute since I've done it, but the reaction window of opportunity that you can get with a Tumulti is the activation of the quote-unquote weapon, because the weapon means that they activate the weapon by paying 0, and then there's the time for you to wait. You can toss out a something in return to hit using your bolt, like, say for instance you do have one of these bolts, or you have a 5 arcane. Going from there, I have 2 bolts, so maybe you can toss one of those out there if you get lucky and kind of time it right. That way only your boots get destroyed, and that's all that they really want. But if you wait for the attack trigger to wait, or for it to proc, and you use your boots to blow up the dragon, and the attack trigger is still on the stack, your attack trigger will get another piece of armor. So in this case, it's typically 1 piece of armor instead of 2. That's the way to deal with Tumulti. That's their biggest threat currently. It really does help out to flush out some of the bigger attacks that you can throw at your opponent with them hitting an Oasis Respite. And keep in mind your opponent's arsenal. Keep that in check. Could be Sand Cover, could be Oasis Respite. There's a little trick also with Sand Cover. If your opponent happens just to have Sand Cover and they toss that out, wait for the Sand Cover to resolve, but not your actual card. Toss out your Waning Moon if it's happened to be on your turn because it's an Ice Vein. You need them to force them to AB2, so that way they cover up the moon, and it doesn't take up the damage that the Sand Cover is preventing. And then that way it still sort of makes your opponent to lose a little. Because if it is a red Ice Vein, they still have to pay AB1. So it means 2 cards from the moon, and then 2 cards coming in from Ice Vein, because they have to pay 1 to AB, and then the Sand Cover, which could be an arsenal. They may have a red in hand to continue their turn, but those are some of the small things that you can do with Dromai. We do want to keep Blizzard. We did have Hyperthermia to help us out, and that's why I typically stick with 4 poppers back in that time. But we still have a lot of things to destroy on their turn, like their dragons. So we still have Ether Hells, we have Frostings, we have Bolts to help us out. We even have, if worst case comes to it, because it sucks that we don't have anything floating when we could it be to help us out, but we have this to go at any other target as well. So, energy pot is just for the slower matchups, and this is, like I said, it's a race. So, alrighty, here we go. Took us a few minutes. All right, so that's pretty much it for what we were going to say on the matchup. All right, so you get to go first. We get a little bit of protection with Brothers in Arms. We got 2 dragons coming across. They might be able to leak 1 damage here, but I'm not so interested in a Frost Hex, as I am in an Insidious Chill. This was Cold Snap, it'd be different. So, got AB2, which potentially means that they aren't too crazy on the Ether Ashwing production. I do have Ash. No way to really stop their turn, as in how we usually do it, right? Sniping a dragon, things like that. We just gotta slow them down enough to play this chill. And the reason why we have Node is it extends our range for our kill turn to 14 rather than the 12 that we normally would do. So 14 is a higher, definitely better in that regard. This isn't the room that I'm really needing in terms of hopefully I have enough that they don't bring the cheese. Cheese. So that means both were a 0 cost. I'm gonna force them pay for something here. They might set up that's the reason why we keep 2 encase in there. Gets around some of our frostbites. Fortunately, we don't have anything to work with this chill. I might take 3 and see what we get. Thing is, I could go 7, and I don't know if I want to keep this popper in hand or just toss it. I can still snipe, right? That's still a way to technically turn off their turn. Full buff power. They're not heavy on the fridge as much as I thought they would be. Typically, is what they would be. However, their dragons is not much of an issue right now. That's fine. We don't have anything to use this to make it worth it, really. Unfortunate. This chill. So the chill's not doing real good work. It sucks. If I need to use this? I currently don't have a an option that I want to use this bolt for. Dromai is the least of my worries currently. I may just... I've got no issue with them gaining 2 action points. And surprising, maybe the Dromai came before because they wouldn't have popped Mage Master Boots because that would have gotten around what we needed. So this is 6 damage for another additional 2. We're not using our whole entire hand to the best of our ability. So I think I'm going to I might pitch this cold snap. Maybe. Block 3. I'll take 3 for this one. And now we found a good target. Which is good. And that's the reason why I want to wait. Could use this on a Merited Scolding. Attack for 2. Cold Snap. This isn't at a target. I might keep this actually. I forgot. I gotta use the hell. Never mind. Not getting the main use out of my chills currently, which is unfortunate. I might use my tunic for... Oh man, this fucking blows. Again, this can stop what I need, and I can still use this to my advantage. The Dromai stops that, so unfortunately these don't hit target heroes. I mean, one hits target heroes, one hits any target. That's why I'm saying that. If I had 2 targets that I can toss out the opponent, then I would definitely go for the Dromai and then this other one here. Oh boy. Currently, we'll hit Caloria. We're both at the same rate, so not bad. We'll hit Caloria for sure. Sorry, Dromai. Hit Dromai for the startup. We'll do good resource management. Toss 4 at them towards the end if we could. This is 3 extra damage. 3 damage there. So I'm taking 6, sending 3. Down 3 if there's nothing else that comes after this. So I feel like we're gonna pitch. There we go. I'm okay still taking 6 here. If I can send back 4. Sorry, not 3. 4. Send out this Brain Freeze. Flip a card from hand. Put Channel Frigid into play, especially since they have 3 Aether Ash Wings. Take. What else you got? I'll still send it even if they end their turn right now. I need channeling frigid in my arsenal. However, let's bait this person into and then whatever this is. They have 1 ash left over though. Could be 2 dragons. 2 dragons, and then they're deciding on whether or not to play which one. Time snap potion. He just gave up a blue. Alright. That's usually for like ghostly arms. Stripping 2 cards and keeping a really good ice card into arsenal. And again, we still help ourselves with some good resource management when it comes to burn them all. Pitch the resource management of the last resource that we have towards the arcane. All about keeping your life total about the same. However, that time snap potion was a little bit, that threw me for a loop. They still have the option of having sigil, so we got to keep that in mind. Sigil, oasis, things of such. We're not presenting anything to help out with these chills, which sucks. They must have liked their arsenal card enough to take 4 damage rather than pitch whatever they had. Oh yeah. There's a 1 cost in there for sure. Send Dromai to the top. Listen to arsenal. Sweeping blow is 1, but he had that was the only resource, which means that's a blue, and he would have to go with the Azvali, which gives it up. Plays invoke Azvali, which is a blue. Popping that would allow for some great shenanigans. This kind of blows. We'll take 1 from there, 1 from here. We would have to deal with a Dromai too. Dromai is gonna come, even though they also have time snap potion. Do I use a popper here? What would my turn look? Ether Ice Vein from the Channeling Frigid fusing with this Ether Hail. Tossing that to them. I won't have a follow-up for Moon. Channeling Frigid. Pitching. Sorry, thinking. More or less thinking about what I'm 1-1 on my turn. That is 2 poppers down, 2 to go. The thing is, what I'm thinking about, Channeling Frigid could be a go again option, but however, it could be Ice Vein fusing with that. That's it. It's 3, right? Which means they have an extra blue in their hand, and there's a chill going out of the way. I think that's still a good option. I think that's still a good option. We have a blue that we can take out of their hands, and it helps a lot with our Channeling Frigid and Arsenal, because they're blue that they have the Sweeping Blow. Helps deal with some of this, but they still have to remember, if they probably forgot about the Channeling Frigid, it's gonna help out for sure. There's a Sweeping Blow. There's 2 blues, which is really good for us. Another popper. Could it be Sigil Solace? If they do Sigil Solace, I can still respond with this channel like Frigid. But it sucks because I don't have this fighting spirit. What would he have in his hand? I don't like getting hit all the time for 3. However, I can deal with it. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on my opponent currently. This Ice Eternal is not very great. 3 means I'm going down to 16. A pop. I don't particularly like going down to 16. But I figured. Still goes through Phantasm. I just wanted to gain some extra life. Dromai is going to be an option though. Still going to be an issue. Oh, there it goes. Bye-bye. Ah, the whole ash deal. Maybe they were out of ash. Forgot about that being a thing. Alright, Ether Hail with this Ice Eternal, I feel. Because that way we can still have a snipe target for later. I like my tunic. Which means we can only really block 1 when it comes to that. Blocking 1. Pitching for Channel Lake Frigid, pitching for Cornet Peak, keep it alive, keep the frosting in my arsenal. Alright, Vinny has gone away. Pitches. In case, on the frosting. I can't pitch for anything, basically. Kind of need some items here. We'll wait and moon after everything's settled, because they would have to pay in towards Frostbite plus channel. Meaning they won't be able to have that additional resource. And then when they try to do it, I can attack them for free. And then they would only have 1 float. Break Frostbite. A1. Tunic. Future for 3. Which means 3 Ash Wings. Unless they have something there too. Which they may. Something spicy. Keeping Case, which is 3 damage, 3 damage, 3 damage. I'm okay with taking 6. And here's also another thing that we can do. In case plus frosting, but I won't be able to snipe, so I still think this is a relatively hardcore way of destroying their turn anyways. We've got case, fusing with frost. Try that instead. My mind was going with the hail turn instead. Use our last Insidious Chill. Hopefully did its job by paving way for more arcane. The thing to think about when you're going against Dromai as Iyslander is to keep in mind that they can have as much AB as possible, but they don't have the resource to back it up, then it kind of is meaningless. Good to see old Vinny take a seat. What's the best avenue to gain 2 pieces of tech against our opponent here? I would like to have the ability to snipe against a person. Right? Get them for 4. See what they do. Moon me for 2. Put 2 pieces of ice into my pitch zone, basically. Because there'd be 1 here. Shoot. A2. No, that wouldn't work. I want the frosting to be able to turn off their turn if I can. Man. I want to keep this bolt in my hand for the kill turn. Or this is not going to be great. Keeping the things that I need around. And they may keep the resources for what they need to push through. Again, magical number against Dromai is there's my scolding. Very nice. That is very interesting that they did that. Thing is, which one do we put into Arsenal? This is like the gold. This is like the gold hand. I want to make sure that I get it right. Emeritus Scolding. Depending on what they do with this hail, we'll keep that in mind. They've been sitting on this Arsenal for a hot fucking minute, which means they could have an Oasis or a Sigil in hand, which goes off my map just a little bit. Got to keep that in mind for any people that run this. All right. Time snap potion. We'll see. We draw. Two, 3. We have exactly what we need. Actually, a little extra. GG's. It's patient and you get there. GG. All right, that'll be the win. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you need any extra help with this particular matchup as well, let me know in the comments down below because I can answer a lot of questions. It's not an easy matchup. That one was just a little bit rocky for the opponent, keeping them off of certain hands that go really bad. However, certain decks or certain versions of Iyslander may approach it a little bit different, where there would be Ice Vein, Ice Weather Veins, or your Bullanders, anything like that. So there's ways to stop the opponent, and that's pretty much what you do. You have to be as aggressive as you can, and then go from there. All right, that'll be it. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what other matches I should play.